Welcome. On this channel, I do completely unscripted, unedited videos of Linux programming and stuff. Recently, I've decided to relearn C. It's been 25 or more years since I've done any programming in C. In the previous videos, I did a little bit of setting up a project, and I often got sidetracked by working on the build system, whether that be Nix build or the Makefile or developing containers from scratch, all kinds of things other than actually learning C. In this video, I am going to start to work through actually relearning C. I don't know exactly how I'm going to approach this. It's really hard for me to like sit down and walk through a tutorial where I already know too much to survive the tutorial. It's just too tedious. And so I think I'm going to take a fairly kind of self-constructed, very kind of thorough walk through the places where I need to learn things, where I need to relearn things, where I think that there are differences from what I knew in the past. It isn't like that I actually am retaining a bunch of I know how to do this from the past. I simply don't. But at the same time, I did take a look at a few tutorials and drifted away from them just about immediately because there didn't seem to be anything to hold my attention, basically. But the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to make a series of small, small projects. Tend to. I was a little undecided if I was just going to iterate in one repository, but and tag all the different that's actually probably what I should do. Yeah, maybe I will. So what I'm going to do is let me I want to check and see if this unified demo is it okay, so C stuff is the thing with which is what has the Git repository. Actually, maybe I will just do a folder per. It'll be easier to navigate if I want to link to a specific demo. But what I'm going to do is the first thing I'm going to do here is let me let's go into this unified demo and make sure that it's doesn't have any extra files in it at the moment. And then I am just going to make a copy of unified demo. The very first thing I'm going to explore is I'm just going to go back and relook at types. I think it's in C23 that they added a bunch of some header files that provide you with some more uniform namings than things like short, long, and long, long. That might have happened in C18, and I actually don't know. Well, for all I know, it could have happened in C11. But I want to take a look and try and make sure that I understand how I want to write code in relation to types, the standard types in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start naming these files, probably something like, I'm going to number them in the order that I do them. In fact, let's just number them after the video number that I'm doing, which is 13 for this one. And then I'll give it a further description, and I'm just going to say standard types. So now if I go down into, already forgot what I did. If I go down into this video, or sorry, into this directory, I can see what's going on there. I'm going to clean it up. I'm going to minimize it. So right now, in the source folder, right? Actually, I'll do it from here. So in the source folder, there is main, and then there is all these other pieces that I'm not going to need for this. I don't think I'm going to go so far as to strip out the tests. I may use them in later iterations of these videos, but I certainly don't need the YAML, and I think that I'm going to reduce this down to, I'll leave those. Actually, I'll leave string out for the time being. Yeah, I'll leave string out. I don't need that defined. And you know what? Actually, I am just going to strip out the test part. It's not really relevant at this layer of me trying to learn things. I just need the most minimal setup. So if I go, I'm going to just change into the source directory. I can get rid of bar, baz, and foo. I can get rid of test. And so I have main and demo, bim demo. If you're interested in the structure that I have here, this unified build structure, you can see more about that in one of the previous videos. I don't know the number right off the top of my head, so yeah, we'll just do a simple hello world. We're gonna go back up, hit the make file. It should be requiring no libraries, and so if I make that, package config is mad because there are none listed, and trying to decide how what was it? What was sorry, let me fix that. I want to see what Copilot was suggesting there. glib 2.0, GTK, GDK, GIO, GObject. Well, it knows I'm in okay, so let's just solve the hard problem. Let's get sidetracked. That's what I do. I want to conditionally. I want to have a conditional. I want to set the C flags conditionally based on whether or not there are libraries. So let me think about this. So make conditional. Let's just go with make conditional. So conditional directive, text if true, end if. So we want an, so this is where we're going, right? We want a conditional if true, an else. Oops. Right? But I don't know what is allowed for the conditional directives, right? So the ideally what we'd be doing here is if true, else, and the else side of that is ignore libs, and we'll do it just because, although we don't really have to, because it's well, maybe we would have to because it's empty. Oh yeah, okay. So I think that is sufficient. Now what I want to test is whether or not libs is empty. And I think I was moving that around before. I'm going to close that. Okay, so make, sorry, make, okay. I don't want to conditionally set a variable, checking for an empty string and make. Okay, so that's in C. Make the variable name has an empty value. If not defined. There we go. Nice, straightforward. So I believe what we're doing is if not defined variable name. In this case, that is libs. We do that. That isn't relevant. So seems to have worked. And just to test it, I want to test it without. Yeah, it needs the empty string there for it to. Or if I do YAML, it does not seem to have included. I don't think that I made it in the far side here. Oh, I got it backwards. So if defined else, right? Okay, so it did try to find package YAML. That was what I wanted. It actually is YAML 0.1 or something like that. And here, it should just do it and not search for any libraries. Okay, so I think we have that working the way we want. Make clean. Tree and source. The only thing we have is demo and main C. That's exactly what I want. Get diff make file. Let's get status, get commit. So reduce demo to minimal unified build. Okay. Now I'll jump into where I was going to go, which was to look at standard types. Right. So this is a question. C99 C11 doesn't really blah blah. Is there any major difference between C99 and so it doesn't. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to dig into this. I don't really care about type changes for the Unicode. I guess I'm kind of aware that there was some. I mean, the 16 and the 32-bit and characters, which aren't really Unicode. They're just character sets. Well, I don't really care about it in general, but I will explore UTF-8 proper handling. And there's something changed about struct naming there. Okay. But that's not actually what I'm after right now. Let's go... is there any major... same... well, I'm pretty... This is the part I think exists, right? So if I say C23 new types... right, okay, so they add null pointer in C23. I could have swore. Well, maybe I imagined it, but I could have swore there was... not the different types of C. Not NCC, C18. I could have swore there was a... Oh, nice. Okay, so at least they're telling me when they get added over here. So we know bool came in C23. Ideally, I'd like to be using C23. I'm not really overly concerned with any kind of compatibility anywhere. But Debian's stable GCC version, which is what was the version? Is 12, and I think like 14 or 15 is the current one. Doesn't support C23. It's only C17, or it has partial support, the GNU partial support, but I want either complete or nothing. Are there any others that... I mean, I actually don't find them particularly complicated. All of the shorts are greater than equal. If you just treat them like their minimum size, they're actually pretty straightforward. All of the shorts are greater than equal to 16, and all the longs are greater than equal to 32, and all the longs are greater than equal to 64. And if you just treat them like their minimum size, they're actually straightforward. But I know I was pretty confident that's like the standard now has, and I think it must be C23, has like a more straightforward Zig-like or Go-like kind of way of defining the types. You know, a U8, a signed int, or that kind of, or a signed 8 kind of thing approach. U32, U64 kind of approach. Okay, that was a kind of an irrelevant diversion. The other thing that let me think. So, interesting. So auto format is giving me 2 spaces. Okay. I'm sorry, stumbling there a little bit. One of the things I want to look at is structs. I don't remember. I'm not sure that I remember the syntax. Trying to think here. Yeah, it will cause a segmentation fault. Why would Copilot suggest that? Idiot. What is the proper way to do that, actually? So, okay, so we might end up just going down the pointer syntax path. Yeah. Because if I did this, it would be the pointer is dereferencing that pointer's value, which is dereferencing the beginning of the string, HEL. I don't know. Not 100% sure. But what are all the different ways you can define so clearly I don't have to actually provide them values, right? I can obviously do it'll probably complain that well, I guess I can fix the complaint. It'll complain that it's not being used. Oops. It never got saved, and then build it, and it's complaining it never got used. But obviously I can make oops, didn't need to do that. Right. Okay, so defined without a value, defined with a value. Doing how do you so if I do C so after and then in curly braces, that is kind of what I remembered, which always seemed a little strange to me. But if I do int foo and right, and of course foo is not used. Okay, so now we're going to go deeper. We're going to do for int I equals 0 I is less than 3. Right. And we get our values. Okay. So clearly I can do, I think this through. If I do an int pointer. So let's do the same here. Let's make this foo1. Actually, let's do r1. And make sure it still runs. And then let's do what I wanted to do was play with this intersection of arrays and pointers. So R2, which is just an int. I'm not sure if this works, but it will help clarify it for me. Okay, yeah, so... no, it does work. So that is right. So the, you know, an array is nothing but an int pointer. And, okay, so I want to do a little bit more with this int and pointer stuff. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to do was I want to so I can reference that value on, it doesn't matter that it's on, it could be 1, right? But then I want to do is, okay, so this keyboard, I just cannot get used to it. It's the keys are just ever so slightly too close together. Okay, so what I'm doing here is this third array, or this third int pointer, is literally, I don't want the value of that, I want the address of that. I'm pretty sure that ends up being exactly the same. And so I can just use that third array variable then to, yep. This I forgot to put a new line in, so now it looks more correct, right? So these are all, I mean, this is, it took me a second to retry them, but I mean, this is my memory of this, right? So here is just define the array. Well, a pointer to an array is nothing but a pointer to the stuff. And I could just as well take the address of the first thing and treat it as the array. They are all the same thing. Okay. Now, let me see if I can walk through this. So, of the types, we would have, you have an int. Copilot, go away. So ints are signed, right? So that's signed and 32 bits, I'm assuming, right? So by default, you have car, int, or short, int, and long, long. And this is going to be 8 bits, at least 8 bits, treated as 8 bits. This is 16. That is 32. Okay, so I believe that is 64. How long is long? I can use size of to figure it out. Actually, let's just do that. Let's do it ourselves. So, okay. Printf, a character is %d, actually I think it's u, for the result of a size of, what am I after here? I need to give it a thing, don't I? So let's make a character called car1, but not, oh, can I, let's move these down here so I'm not jumping around. I'm going to do this, val1. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of get confused by what is size of return? The result of size of is an unsigned integer type, which is typically denoted by the size t. Size t is the value, is the type, including blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's how many bytes. And a byte is 8 bits. So see, I can't hit a key without hitting or I can't hit a key without hitting another key. The keyboard's just okay. So it didn't like, what didn't it like? There we go. So character is 8 bits. And a short, let me do this. Short val2 is 16 bits. And let me update this. And the long val3 a long is 64 bits. So in between there is obviously the int. I'll just do this. Let's do it this way. An int is int val4 is int, there we go. So we get our 32-bit. Now, what's long? And I think the answer is going to be it's just 64, and so there's never any reason to use it. So this is 5, 5, and it's long. Right, it's just 64. So there's no reason to ever use long. And there's no difference between, I mean, the signed versions are, right, so if I do, so by default, I think you're getting a signed value. And then, ooh, wasn't expecting that. Start with this. That's good. Is there no unsigned? That is something that's not right about that. So, C language unsigned character. Unsigned character, blah, blah, blah. Oh, duplicate value or duplicate variable names. Okay, so nope. Let's make it a simpler change. And I'm just going to put an X in front of every one of these. Right, so actually we do have puts, right? There we go. So no differences in their sizes, that's obvious. But there should be a C file or a header file that defines their ranges, I believe. It's probably just like, it's probably an int. But hold on, the first thing I want to do is I want to fix that, that, and that. They weren't lining up. They were bugging me. Oh, the last two are. Okay. So I know this is kind of dumb, but this is just me re-exploring, right? Trying to, I mean, I literally haven't used C in 25 plus years. And I just have to plant this stuff back in my head. I believe that we have is it int.h? Well, it's not. C language header max int. Well, where's it defined? That's what I want. Let's see limits. That's what it is. Oops, don't blow that one up. Okay, so it's not C limits, C limits.age. Did they spell it wrong? in main C. It's telling me sim limits bad. No such file or directory. But over here, it's interesting. Is it just automatically there? Okay, so C limits defines what? So let's do int min, just to show. Well, let's actually put them in line here. So max is going to be, what do we just look at over here? Int. So we're doing a character. Oh, so here's the first thing I should do. Instead of using 8 here, I should use charbit. So line 58. So what did I break here? That works. It seemed like I broke something. I don't understand why breaking one of them breaks all of them. Unless it's some kind of optimization thing that's going on in the background. So I mean, I get that there's a type conversion problem there. So it's getting a long unsigned int. I think what it's telling me is if these were all longs, okay, so let's put this in its own line. I want to see printf car bits. Car bit. Bits. Bit. This blows my mind. Okay, if I remove this line, no other errors. Yet, if I have this line, oops. then a whole bunch of crap blows up. But I think there's just a type problem here. The limits for WISP specific integral types and other types are defined in C's standard int. Is that where? Is that what I was trying to get over here? Oh, that's all I was confusing myself about before. It was compiling. It was just compiling with warnings, right? So, oh no. I see what's going on. Oh, I got to fix that or I'll confuse myself. It built. It runs. It's still... error undeclared first. Okay, so that was all that's going on. So let me move this to the bottom. So it builds with a whole bunch of noise. I gotta fix this, otherwise I'm gonna be confused in the future. Okay, so right here, format %u expects a type of unsigned int, but was an print. So I need the printf for size t is what I need. Okay. Is ZU. That's what they should be, right? Compiles no warnings, runs just fine. So we do the same down here. Builds just fine, runs just fine. Now, we don't have a bunch of noise going on. Is undeclared, is defined in limits.h. Did you forget to include limits.h? No, I tried to include limits.h once. Oh, it's just limits.h, not c limits.h, because that was probably a stupid C++ tutorial. Or, you know, header file, not tutorial. Okay, so we build that, we run it. Charbits is 8. Now, a better way, what I was really after that whole time is a better way to have done this would have been to, right? Okay, does that compiles cleanly? So... right? Because now it's, I mean, not that it was gonna change, but now it's the code is system neutral. Okay, I think that was a good little part of what I was after. I think what will happen is I'll do another video. I'm just gonna keep working through this. I know that these ones are really dumb. But it's just a necessary step for me to work through my understanding, to replant this in my head. So this gives me the understanding I wanted, which is I can use, I don't have to think very hard. I can use character short int long to use all the sizes. I can use them as signed or unsigned, and I would be explicit, I think, always while doing this. And then I have no confusion. Maybe I wouldn't be explicit because I doubt I'm going to be writing signed int. So I'll use the simple convention, obviously, that the unsigns. This really seems like it should be the other way around. But I'll, since I don't have a choice, right? Int is signed, so might as well just live with it. Character short, int long are all signed. The unsigned versions, okay. Oh, I know what I was going to do before, and I just gave up because I got sidetracked, was I wanted to do the range of, so I don't know that that's, let's see if I can get a table somewhere. See if I can just get the file. So ucar, scar are the way that these are done. So we're up here, we're in the signs. So we would end up with ucar max. And ucar min, right? Doesn't like that for some reason. Ucar max and it doesn't like mins. Oh, it only does mins if they're it doesn't define the min. 255 and 0. So I want to swap those around. It doesn't define the mins for the unsigned is what it looked like. So to follow through on the next one, the range would be, right? And then we would have 0 and u short max. Oh, interesting. It doesn't complain about extra. So it doesn't look like u short max is SHRT. Just to make it hard. I mean, that's the kind of thing my brain wants to do too, but then it just means that, yeah, whatever. Yep. And then following on with the next one, %d to the range of %d is 0 to u int max. Something's not right. So the int min, u int max. Oh, because I'm, so these need to be so. Yep, and should be so here. And there. And then finally, %u, minimum is 0, maximum is going to be u long max. So these things can't both be true. Right there. Why is... I mean, I guess they can be true, but that wouldn't make very much sense. Why have 64 bits? And I'm confused. U-long max. Okay. That is not making sense to me whatsoever. This tells me that limits.h defines okay, so let's take a look at... It's got to be a printf thing, right? It's the only thing that makes sense. So print... unsigned decimal integer. So an L, so if I LL, no, let's just ask the internet. Print F unsigned long. LU. Is it really that many different ways to do it? Okay, so that was the problem, is we were maxing that out before. Have to be careful with that one. So a few foot guns there with the printf. I mean, you could deceive yourself and get the wrong values. So I'm going to start at the bottom of this one and do it the same thing. So, right. So this one's not going to be unsigned. I need long min and long max. Oh no, the values I'm getting back from this are still. There we go. Uh, so LD for the signed. There we go. Yes, be careful with those. They might shoot me in the foot. LD percent LD, and this is int min int max. Why did I get the negative? So why do I get... well, I don't need the L is the reason. Yeah. And if I come here, %D, %D, S short min isn't a valid. SHRT, that's the one that was screwing with me before. Yep. And same thing here. Actually, I'm kind of glad I ended up going all the way through. I almost gave up without looking at the sizes of all these, but this was worth experiencing once. So it should be just car min. Yeah, car max. Is there anything else? I think that's good. 1, 1, 2, 3. That's what it meant it to be. That was confusing me. And then... do it twice, actually. We can just do this. I think I'd rather not have the lines there. But I do want it in that last one. There we go. So this is a nice, convenient little kind of test that I can pop back and when I want to validate my, confirm my understanding of sizes and things like that in the future. Although it's not too bad. The hard part will probably be remembering, well, I'll have to look it up. I'll remember I need to. That ZU is the printf qualifier for the size T type, and LD and LU when I'm dealing with longs. Otherwise, %D and %U work just fine. Easy enough. And then the basic 64, 32, 16 values for character short, int long, character short, int long. Okay. All pretty straightforward. Okay, so that was kind of probably a really, really dumb putsy video to watch me work my way through, but it's just part of me relearning C. I think the next thing I need to look at is probably structs. Defining structs, maybe pointers at structs, things like that. That'll probably be the thing I do next. Thank you for the patience. See you in the next video.